Hi, so here we are at the London Wine Fair in May 2019. And let's talk about Rioja. So I've got a fantastic interview with a lovely lady called Sonia, who has family, has a vineyard in the Rioja region, and she tells us all about Rioja. Hi, so here we are on the Rioja stand, and I'm with Sonia, and Sonia's going to tell us all about Rioja. Hi, Sonia, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. I just came to London to promote my wines, to promote the Rioja wines, and it's a pleasure that you want to introduce me.
Absolutely, absolutely, my pleasure. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about Rioja. I mean, obviously, Rioja is a very famous Spanish wine. What's its history? Do you know?
Well, the history about Rioja is that we have always been winemakers. In my case, for example, my family has been more than 5 generations of making wine. So Rioja is traditionally a winemaking place that 100 years ago approximately we started to age our wines. Before we didn't age our wines, now we are. So what we now want to do is give added value to this, to start promoting it more and to make people understand our wines because it's very popular wines.
Yeah, it's very popular. And do you know why, or do you have a reason for why it has become so popular?
Well, basically because Rioja is a controlled appellation and so this guarantees a quality. And in this case, this is very good for the Rioja wines because we have been one of the institutional ways of the Spanish wines. Like it's very easy to promote Rioja wines because there is an appellation behind.
And that basically means that there are very sort of stringent conditions under which you can make the wine.
Yeah, of course. So, for example, we have some amount of kgs of grapes that you can take per hectare, and you cannot get more of those kgs. So, of those kgs, you can make some limited amount of bottles. Of those bottles, you have to be telling to the appellation if you are making Crianza, Reserva, if you're aging the wines, and they will be giving you the back label of Rioja according to what you do, and they can control you at any moment. This is very you have to work a lot because it's a lot of paperwork, but in the end it guarantees equality, and this supports us all over the world.
And there are some standard aging names, aren't there? I wonder if you could go through those.
So the non-aged wines normally, or those are the jóvenes, joven. Sometimes people call it joven in UK. Then there is the Crianza, which is the next level, which is 2 years before the wine is being released. And at least the wine has to be for 1 year in the oak. Then is the Reserva, which is 3 years before being released. And as well, the wine has to be at least 1 year in the oak, and the last year it has to be bottled. So even before being released, the wine, before getting the label, the wine has to be bottled. And then there is the Gran Reserva, which is actually 5 years before being released. And the last 2 years always in the bottle.
Wow, that's a lot of investment just waiting for your money for 5 years.
Yeah, and the point is that somehow the wine is ready, but we are just keeping it in the bottle so the wine will age better. And in these terms, the wine will be ready to be drink when we are releasing it. When we are selling it, it's already ready to be drink. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in terms of somebody that's just starting on their wine journey, like lots of our viewers, which particular Rioja would you say that they should actually start with?
So, well, what I'm going to say, I'm from Ramirez de la Piscina winery, so I will always suggest my wines. But in terms of wine learning, for people who doesn't know anything about wine, I would suggest always to go for the fruity ones. For non-oaked or very little oaked, so jóvenes are very good. Crianzas as well, because they are still very fruity, all the aromas are there. There is a little bit of dryness of the wood, but not much. So this is very good. Anyways, there is a type of wine which now is becoming very trendy, and we have been making in our area, in La Rioja Alta, for many, many years. It's our traditional winemaking style, which is the carbonic maceration. It's a young wine using the carbonic maceration method that it's very, very fruity. And you can chill it a little bit, and it's non-oaked. And this is very, very good wine to, for starters. For people who doesn't know anything about wine and they are only looking for the fruit and the power, this is a very tasty wine.
And when you say the method, what is different about the method? What makes it so different?
Yeah, so normally for wines we only use the berries of the grape. So there is the whole bunch, and we de-steam it. In this case, for carbonic maceration, we use the whole bunch. In France, it's very popular, the Beaujolais Nouveau. It's very same style, but a little bit different because first of all, it's Rioja. We use Tempranillo grapes mostly, and second of all, because those wines are more long-lasting.
Okay, and in terms of exactly where you are in Spain, I mean, where is the Rioja, just to describe it? I'll probably put a map up, but if you could just describe the area.
Yeah, so Rioja is a region of Spain, and this region, it's in the northern part, in the center. So this means that we are like 3 hours driving from Madrid, 1 hour driving from Bilbao, approximately 2.5 hours driving from border with France. It's a very accessible place. It's very easy to reach Rioja by car and to come and do a road trip around there.
Okay, and is the area set up, are the vineyards set up for visitors to come and actually taste?
Yeah, we are developing a big industry of enoturism, which means that all people is welcome to visit our wineries, to visit our vineyards, and to visit all the business that are related with wine, because in the end, we have vineyards, we have wineries, but as well we have the best restaurants, the best wine bars, and everything around. Because this is everything in situ, is where the wine is being made. So this is great.
It sounds good. I guess if you're in the UK, you need to go there quickly before all the borders go up.
Well, this is an issue, and it is not an issue. Everybody's a little bit nervous about these things. But it's fine. People will be coming anyways to Rioja, and UK will be anyways buying wine from Spain, so it's not a problem.
Of course. I mean, how you say you've been producing it for 100 years? As a Rioja, actually, is that sort of in terms of the aging? Is that sort of throughout every vineyard? Is sort of 100 years, or is it was the process of developing Rioja started earlier than that?
Well, of course, there have been wineries for that are more than 100 years. And when I said 100 years, it's not only 100, it's 140, 160 years. But the point is that before there were many people making wine, very few wineries branding the wine, putting the brand of the wine. So, and nowadays we are many small wineries going out to the world and releasing our own wines, branding our own wines, and this is very proud of us, because it's not only about the big players anymore. Yes. We are small players. We are in the game, and we want to fight as well.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I understand this particular photograph we have behind us is actually the village where your wine comes from. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my village. This is San Vicente de la Sonsierra in La Rioja Alta. We are like 15 kilometers from La Guardia, 10 kilometers from Haro, which are two main cities of La Rioja. And this is actually it's a 16th century castle. There are some ruins from the 12th century, and even from the 6th century there are some things here. And so this is our village. All the village is behind the castle. And it's a very beautiful view, because from up here you can see all the vineyards that reach until the river, until the Ebro River, and this is very beautiful view.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. I also understand you mentioned to me that the actual caves are inside this.
Yeah. So over here there are many caves, because the best way of storing the wine, I mean, nowadays we have AC, we have temperature control systems, but before what did they have? They had stone. So the best way to isolate the temperatures was to keep the wine inside the stone. So in this case, all around the castle, there are different caves for storing wines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I bet that's fun to walk around.
It's very beautiful, and it's really worth it, because it's culture. I mean, it's our history, and we are willing to spread it.
Yeah, and justly proud of it. Justly proud of it. Well, thank you very much for the time. I don't know if there are any other hints you think you want to give the viewers, or do you think we've covered just an outline of Rioja?
Well, I don't know what else I can say, but I would just love to have a bigger presence in the UK market. My brand is Ramirez de la Piscina, and we are, like as many others, family wineries who are just going out to sell our wines. In our case, like It's a very small family thing because my uncle and my brother are the enologists. My father takes care of the vineyards. My mother and I, we are in the sales, so it's very close by everything.
It sounds like a wonderful operation.
Ramirez de la Piscina is the name of my winery.
Okay, well we'll put the links to your website
Yeah.
down below, so you can have a look at them there. And also we'll just put a couple of shots of some of Sonia's wine just following at the end of this interview, so you can actually see some of the wines that are produced.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, and to the next one.